When we first moved here in 2011, the Firehouse Gallery was the only store selling new product outside of a grocery store or a dollar store, something like that. So I wasn't sure Berryville was ready.
I was really pleasantly surprised by the number of woodworkers and other artisans that are here. And once we did move here, that became really, really evident. And I'm all about trying to make this town into a maker's town.
Enhancing the identities of our towns through a range of projects humanizes them by bringing together names, faces, and skill sets. With these projects, local government becomes a recognizable part of local experience too, and the idea of local office is less daunting. We the people means people like us.
I think you'll discover a wide range of things here, although it's a small town. I think you'll discover new places like ours, but you'll also discover the diner that's been family-owned for 75 years.
For such a small county, the history here is incredible. People made things to last. They built things to last because they had to. It took time and effort to create anything, houses, art. It took a lot of time, and so when they created it, they wanted it to last for generations.
I think people have really identified Berryville and Clark County as a very special place, particularly in light of the lack of development and the history of working together. And I think it kind of creates environmentally appropriate, agriculturally and artisan-wise too. It fits all together.
We are the stewards of Clark County's history.
Since I've been working here, I've discovered that there are a lot of super talented artists living right here in this community. As you can see, this mural right here, this mosaic was done by all local artists.
Been making frames for clients all over the country.
There are so many people here that are so passionate about the arts, music, art, fine arts, and dance.
I've seen a huge shift in the downtown, and I think a critical mass is what we're starting to see. Of destination retail, galleries. I've actually heard several people say, oh, what a cute little arts community, and it's happening.
We have Modern Mercantile, and we have the Fair Trade Shop, my neighbor and me, who have artsy stuff at good prices for everybody. We also have the Firehouse Gallery on Main Street, that's been there since 2009, which I was president of Main Street then and helped get that started. And that has really grown and blossomed.
The first floor we use to showcase local artists' work and hold workshops and be a presence on Main Street for them. And upstairs we have two small spaces which are very low rent and come with Berryville Main Street's coaching and assistance for brand new businesses that we then nurture and help find a new place in Berryville to rent in their next steps.
The businesses are working well together downtown and have a good standard vision. It's exciting to see who's coming in the spaces that become available now. So that's nice, and it's also little nodes of activity like Cordial Coffee, Modern Mercantile, and then a new bakery I believe is moving in right there too.
The foundation that's laid underneath of new business and bringing people in is strong enough to, at least the relationship with them, like the people in the town or other business owners, that they have a good relationship so they can feel like they can speak freely when maybe they're going through a rough patch.
The Top of Virginia Artisan Trail has been a great effort because I know we need to work regionally. We can't do a lot of these things on our own. There are only 15,000 people in the county.
It was really a community effort that got the barns built in the first place. It was private citizens that decided that the rundown barns were an eyesore and they wanted to do something with them. And they went out and raised over $1 million to renovate this place. We think that art can help build bridges and bring people together.
An enormous range of dovetailing skill sets is needed to put on a concert. There are the sound person, the lighting person, the coffee maker, the coffee server, the volunteer coordinator, the person who designs the posters. You get the idea. You can see the mix and match of community members who might not have any other reason to know each other. The biggest advantage I've seen in these fleets of staff and volunteers is a basic and strong incentive to work together harmoniously. When there's a show to be put on, there really isn't an opportunity to dig into political differences or harbor strong resentments.
If each individual is emotionally healthy because they're processing their emotions with a wonderful outlet like art or music, that then is going to feed into the community as a whole.
The people that live here tend to have come from here, or if they just moved here, they moved here because they love the town. So the main street is the focal point of everyone to be able to build those bridges and really put their efforts towards making something great for Berryville.
It's all about collaboration, in my opinion.
I went to the town and asked permission to have a permit to try a shop on the porch of my house. And no one had ever asked for that. I had already talked to my neighbors. And so they allowed me to go through the permit process and 2 public hearings, and it was approved with one stipulation. Please promise you'll come to Main Street if it's successful. I was asked by Berryville Main Street to consider coming and occupying an incubating space above the Firehouse Gallery.
I read a book series by Debbie Maycomber, and the book was called The Good Yarn, and it took place in a small town, very much I envisioned like Berryville, and just decided to go for it.
And I decided to take the chance and move to a 2nd floor awkward space and make it work for retail.
I make this handmade semi-precious stone jewelry, and I call them this brand two-hand jewelry. I always pick and choose good quality and make like a simple bracelet but with interesting gems.
I opened there and continued to grow the business and my customer base. Every day that I could, I would put a display outside to try to entice people to come inside, and my traffic just continued to increase. 7 months later, a for rent sign went on the current space I'm in.
People can kind of just let their hair down a little bit and just kind of wander around town, visit some great shops, and visit some of the outlying community and around the county.
Starting a writing or drawing group, a song circle, or an artists collective can also be a way to see ourselves as creative people and to value the parts of our towns and cities attuned to our creativity. It takes effort to believe that your town is you, and vice versa. It takes some experience. It takes the personal understanding that as a citizen, it's your right to speak, to express yourself.
I've been involved with the town for probably the 14 years that I've lived here, and been on Main Street, been to town council meetings, wanted to be able to have more of a voice and be able to help with some directions as far as economic development and bringing more community to our town. So I said yes, and as of July 1st now I'm town councilwoman.